Shalom, shalom, my brothers and sisters, sons, daughters, and elders alike. I just wanted to come on here to drop this quick video. This is for those who are in their Job or in their wilderness season. I just want to give you some encouraging words. You know, we know that the Most High, He moves very intentionally. You know, we operate on His time and His time alone. You know, and it's very, very difficult for the remnant of Yasharel. You know, those are being called, those who are walking according to His purpose and His plan. We know it's not easy out here. You know, and a lot of y'all, either y'all, like I said, either in your wilderness Job season, either you're in the middle of it, or you're just starting it, or you at the tail end of it. I just want to encourage you to just keep walking by faith. Keep trusting Him. Just hold on to Him. It is not easy. And I know it's not easy because you're not alone. You're not alone in it. You know, this narrow path is never easy. You know, you look through scriptures and you see our ancestors, how they went through, how they met with all type of oppositions, how they were stripped of everything, how they lost everything, how they were separated, how they was told and commanded by the Most High, and they just moved by faith, and they just continue, not knowing where they was going, where they was heading, not knowing the reason why they went through what they went through, you know, why people, you know, regardless if it's family members, friends, you know, you in relationships, you know, you done friendships, jobs and communities, you know, why the Most High just tell y'all just to move. And when you move, He just stripped you of everything. I mean, a lot of y'all got bills piling up. Bills just coming out, you know, bills just adding up, and you don't even have the money. You don't even have the resources. You don't even have the connections. You just, in this world, you're being met with so much oppositions and stuff like that, and things are just not lining up how you think and how you perceive it should, and how, you know, and how you think, you know, your timing and everything else. Just know that you're not alone in this. I'm in this with you. I'm in this with you. I'm in this fight with you. You know, the victory's already won. The Most High He is with us. He's never going to leave us nor forsake us. You know, and I want to, like I said earlier, I want to encourage y'all to walk by faith. And that's the reason why I wanted to do this video. You know, I just wanted to encourage you, and I took some notes, and I asked some questions, and I wanted to learn, I wanted to grow, and I wanted to elevate, and I wanted to inspire, you know, those who are walking upright, those who are just trying their best, those who are not understanding, but you're hoping and you're wishing and you're praying. You know, I just want to speak with you, so I'm about to put on my eyeballs, you know, and I just want to go to the Most High and ask Him just to lead me And God, me that the words that I say are not my own, that they are Ruach led, um, that it bring honor and glory to Him and Him alone, and let y'all know that, hey, there's always light at the end of the tunnel. All right. Faith that moves mountains in the midst of trials. When the world collapses around you, remnant, you are called to unwavering faith, trusting that Yahuwah's hand is sovereign over all events. You know, like I said, no matter what you're going through, what you got going on in your life, I don't care if you're rich. I don't care if you have all the money in the world and the Most High called you out and you are wondering why people are opposing you, why families looking at you strange, and why your friends, you know, they starting to fall off by the wayside, and you really seeing the true intentions behind their motives. And your kids are acting up, or, you know, your mother and your father, you know, no matter where you are, no matter how old you are, how young you are, the things that's going on around you, you trying to figure out why this happening, why is that happening, why I had to be the one to go through this, why I had to feel this type of emotion, feel this type of pain, why I'm the one that getting hit the hardest, why everybody else is doing this and doing that, and, you know, they are succeeding in life, you know, they are reaping their rewards, you know, the seeds they sown, they are reaping, they enjoying the fruits of their labor, you know. Just know that He is in control, and trust in His hand and allow Him to lead you and guide you. Just have faith in Him. The smallest measure of genuine faith rooted in Yahuwah carries the power to overcome spiritual, emotional, and physical obstacles. The mountains in your life, the mountains represents every barrier that the enemy sets to stop the remnant from walking in their covenant destiny. You know, your faith is active. Your faith is not passive. Faith acts, faith speaks, and faith moves. For it is written in Matthew 17:20, truly I tell you, if you have faith as small as a mustard seed, you can say to this mountain, move here to there, and it will move. Nothing will be impossible for you. And I tell you, this thing is going to pop up in your mind, in your heart, and your emotions. You're going to have your good days, and you're going to have your bad days. You're going to have those days where, like, you walking on sunshine, you know, you get up, you go before the Most High, you acknowledge Him in anything and everything you do. The next thing you know, bam, a certain person come up in your mind. A certain thought will come up in your mind. You're looking at this person, they looking at you funny. You being spiritually oppressed and attacked. You know, you feeling all type of things in your body and everything else, and you just start, and your emotions just is everywhere. First of all, you're taking on a lot of people's emotions, a lot of people's fears, a lot of people's doubts and anxieties, and, you know, people are projecting on you. First and foremost, remember that. You know, it's you being spiritually attacked. You know, all these obstacles be putting in your way. you know, speak over it. Speak over your obstacles. Speak over your obstacles, especially in faith. Declare loud that these obstacles got to move. Acknowledge them what they are for what they are, and tell them to move. Speak life over yourself. Refuse to be unbothered by the fear and the doubt and the worldly challenges that you face. Take intentional steps in alignment with Yahuwah's will while trusting the unseen. Don't worry about the noise. You got squirrels up here just running around here. You know, they look at me funny, then they just take it off. But we're going to keep on going. While trusting the unseen and teaching others in the remnant to also speak in faith. Regardless, you know, we're not alone. You know, we may be scattered throughout the four corners of this earth, but we're never alone. You know, and if you got it in you, speak it. Encourage somebody, you know. You know, you being led to do something, do it. You know, you might see a brother and sister, you know, something just might move on you and you miss the opportunity though. But when you see that brother and sister, just like, hey, I've been led to palau, petition. Some of y'all like want to use the word pray. You know, I've been moved to pray over you. Is there anything you need prayer about? Is there anything you need me to intercede for? You know, don't have fear, you know, be courageous, do it in faith. You know, when you allow and petition, whatever they're going through, whatever is their health, financial situation, you know, family dynamic, whatever the case may be, you know, be that person that walks boldly in faith and encourage somebody, you know. Let's see. And also creating a chain of covenant authority. You know, we walk in the covenant. If we're in the covenant of the Most High, because we are the children of Yasharel, especially the remnant, you know, we have authority to speak it by faith. You know, you must keep your heart pure at all times. You know, you see somebody coming at you crazy. You got people out here, like I said, it's not flesh and blood that we're dealing with. It is these entities, it is these spirits, these people are operating out of darkness because they let the enemy, the adversary, control their thoughts and their emotions. They're hateful, they're envious, they're jealous. Because the adversary hates what the Most High created, which is us. We are made in His image and His likeness. So when we are upright and we're loving on Him and we are not doing the ways of the world, people are just going to come up at you and they're just going to, so to say, test your gangster. You know, threaten your life. They're going to do anything and everything. The enemy is going to use anything and everything he can. And it's going to be like, you know, especially you brothers and sisters that used to be, really bad about it, and with your words, and your, you know, with your hands, with your feet, you know, life and death is in the tongue, so you can speak life over somebody, or you can speak death over somebody. Your words can cause things to happen in a good way and a bad way. And I know some of our brothers and sisters, you know, we can speak something, you know, and people gonna want to fight and ready to do all that stuff, you know, but but we gotta operate out of a pure heart, regardless how we're being attacked, you know. But we know Scripture. You know, we speak his word. His word is our weapon, regardless. You may not know every word. Some people do, some people don't, you know. But you know the words, you know how to go to the Most High. You know how he fights our battles for us. That's the only way we overcome it. You know, you seek his first kingdom and allow him to vindicate us. You know, don't operate out of revenge. You know, just because somebody talking crazy to us, we ain't got to do the exact same thing they do. That's what the enemy wants us to do. He wants us to be operating in fear. He wants us to operate in our old ways. Let's see what else I got for y'all. You know, resist distractions and deceptions because the enemy prowls, seeking to lead astray even the chosen. Just spoke on that. The heart is the wellspring of life and decision making. Especially in these times, the thought and emotions and desires are targets for manipulation. A guarded heart preserves covenant alignment, spiritual clarity, and the remnant's mission. For it's written in Proverbs 4, above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. Examine yourself daily. Let the Ruach HaKodesh guide you and also reflect on anything and everything that you done in that day, regardless if it's good or bad. You know, if you did something positive, if you didn't do anything, if you were stagnant, whatever it is, reflect on the things that what can be done better next time. You know, we know tomorrow's problem. What's in the past, and we cannot bring it back up. But reflect on the decisions that you make. Reflect on your heart posture. You know, regardless everything that's going on around you. I got distractions going right in front of me, right in my face right now. But at the end of the day, I'm still trying to hit that mark. You know, distractions are everywhere. You know, and also watch what you allow into yourself. Case in point, your distractions. There's a lot of distractions. Music, movies, you know, men and women dressed in a certain type of way. You know, the enemy just comes to distract you. Especially when there's negative in the news, negativity in the world. Like I said, you got to really watch what you allow into your mind, allow into your heart. Remove all negative things that keep you out of the will of the Most High and keep you out of covenant. And don't follow the trends of the day. A lot of these kids, the world, they have trends. A lot of people are doing this. There's a new dance. There's a new this. There's a new that. You know, there's a new fashion. You know, there's a new saying. There's a new slang. You know, people are wearing. Only Yahuwah knows. You know, some of us know what's going on. You know, there's a lot of people are following this and doing that. If it doesn't line up with Scripture, if it doesn't line up with Torah, we're not supposed to even following it at all. We're not. Said, but follow Torah, not worldly possessions or worldly pressures. Let's see. Then if you are gifted, don't hide them either. Don't keep them to yourself, and don't neglect them. See, a lot of y'all are gifted in singing, discerning, prophesying, leading, teaching, interceding for people. You know, if the Most High give you these gifts, don't hoard them. He made y'all stewards of the gifts that he's giving you. Use them to advance his kingdom. Don't do it for selfish gain. Don't do it for just because you're gifted and talented in a certain area. Don't use it to take advantage over people. That's not why he gave you these gifts. He didn't give you these gifts to do that. Every good gift you have comes from Yahuwah himself. And your gifts helps to advance the kingdom. Be responsible with it and be wise with it. You are stewards. For it's written in the Testament of Benjamin, use well the gifts given to you by Yahuwah, for by them the work of righteousness is revealed. Use what you have, and don't become envious or jealous of anyone else's gifts, and don't operate out of ego. Just because some people can have a different gift, don't be mad at them. Don't be jealous of them. Don't be envious, spiteful. You know, just don't operate in that type of energy. You know, you got something you good at, use it to the best of your abilities to advance the kingdom. Don't worry about some people are very smart when it comes to finances. Some people are very, very gifted in building, you know, construction. Some people are very gifted in just preaching the word, teaching the word. Some people can have a strong prayer life. You know, some people can intercede better than most people. But no matter what you're gifted in, you know, don't be jealous because this person is more advanced than you are. You know, repetition, it takes time. You know, but the gifts you do have, you know, work on your gift. You know, be a light, be a help to other people. And I'm speaking to the children of Yahshua. I'm speaking to the remnant, even the ones that are grafted in. You know, he's the Abba of us all. He's the Father of us all. He pours Ruach on all flesh. You know. In the remnant, you also rise boldly and be anchored in covenant truth. See, a remnant alignment fortifies against chaos, spiritual attacks, and pressure of unbelief. You know, we might be out here by ourselves. We might be small. We might be, no matter where you are on the four corners of the earth, you might be separate, but it's always good to try to connect with other people, you know, that's going through this, that's experiencing this. You know, this walk is lonely. Confirmation. Thank you, squirrel. This squirrel up here eating and dropped something when I just said that. Something dropped. You know, find other brothers and sisters, sons and daughters. You know, if the Most High moved on you to do something, to say something, to be there for people, you know, operate in your gifts. Don't just, you know, like, how can two walk together unless they agree? You know, it's not easy for us out here. You know, there's going to be a lot of distractions. There's going to be a lot of people going to say, you can't do this, you can't do that. You ain't supposed to do this, don't do that. I don't think that's good for you. Wherever the case may be sensitive in the spirit, be attentive in your hearing by listening to the Creator. If he leads you to do something, we know opposition is going to be, opposition is going to come and go. People are going to say this, people are going to say that. If he's shielding you from it, if you're not hearing it, best believe he got you separate from reading, because he know if you're exposed to it, you're going to be swayed different. You're going to be swayed to incline your ear to what the naysayers have to say. People that's going to be speaking negative, like, nah, this is not the right. This is not the right move for you. You know, why are you speaking this way? Why are you thinking that way? You know, who told you to do this? What makes you think that's the right place, the right city, the right state, the right person, the right job, anything and everything? you're always going to be met with people that's going to just, you're going to be met with obstacles. I'm just saying it. But when you're out here by yourself, we can't do nothing but just wait. If Most High promised you something, just wait till he moves. I mean, it's not easy. Sometimes we can go ahead of him and put ourselves in danger and get ourselves out of alignment. Sometimes we'll move too slow. We think like, well, I heard you told me this, but I'm not sure. I'm not ready, or I'm fearful, or anything like that. Not pointing fingers at nobody, because we all operate out of it. Hey, we're not perfect. I'm not perfect. I never said I'm perfect, but I'm thankful that I'm not what I used to be. I may not have, but that it's not unattainable, and I'm thankful that I'm not where I used to be, regardless what anybody think. When he picks you up, when he cleans you off, when he puts you on that path and tell you to walk, whoo, it's an eye opener. It's a game changer, man. For it's written in Enoch 108, be strong and courageous, O children of Yasharel. For those who walk with Yahuwah shall not stumble, even when darkness falls around them. Stand firm in covenant truth. Confront injustice, deceptions, and oppression without compromise. I don't care. And it's hard. We know what's going on this earth. We can only do what we can do. We can only say what we can say and stuff like that. But sometimes we got, unless he tells you, if he moves on you, if he tells you and if you're able to speak on it, speak on it. Don't hide nothing, because there's a lot of injustices going on in this world. Me personally, I try not to be distracted. I just try to stay focused. I ain't trying to explain myself, but at the end of the day, we know what's going on in this world. We know what's going on in this world. Sometimes, fear of speaking up, holding something back can cause a lot of heartache and a lot of pain in people's lives. Unnecessary stuff they had to go through because, people are fearful of what other people might think and say and feel. This way the world operates. This world operates in fear. They got people, you snitch and this and that, whatever. If it does not align with the Most High, and if you see your brother do something, say, act out of this, be like, yo, man, go, you need to go correct that. That's not, they ain't what you told me. Why your actions doesn't map what you're saying. These types of things. Man, I'm telling you, man, it's a lot. It is a lot. It is a lot. It is a lot. What's my last one? What's my last point I got? Stand firm in covenant truth. Confront injustice, deception, and oppressions without compromise. Live ready for harvest. Act in obedience. Be expecting, knowing that the seeds that you planted, what you sow out here, you should reap. Harvest, regardless. I don't care if you reap good or if you planted good or bad. Be prepared. But the remnant, just know that it's going to happen for you sooner or later. And be obedient. Be obedient to the Most High. Sometimes we operate out of fear. We operate out of doubt. What if this could happen? What if I lose this? What if I lose that? I'm afraid to lose this. I'm afraid to lose that. What is the problem? Man that gain the whole world, lose his soul in the process. Even he totally said, man, give up everything and follow me. He like, no, I ain't doing that. You know, Abraham left what he knew, walked blindly, but he walked by faith. You know, but I just want to come on here and encourage y'all and let y'all know, just hold on to your faith, hold on to your trust and belief. Don't be distracted. I know distractions come, and there's a lot of distractions on this earth. You know, sometimes we could miss it, but at the end of the day, He loves us. He never leave us or forsake us, and He always got us covered. So until next time, brothers and sisters, I love y'all. Shalom, shalom.